Very warm welcome to all the viewers on the channel Smart Study with Shivani. Today I am posting the video after a long time, say almost after 1.5 months. Enjoying the holidays with my family. So let's begin with the science. We did about seasons and adaptations in the last slides, but a small portion, a small topic on the adaptations for the animals and plants in different environments is left out to discuss. Before starting with, we will just do a quick recap of what we studied. We had studied about the movements of Earth, that is rotation and revolution, because of which we experience different seasons. And because of different seasons, there are different weather or different environment which we experience, and we as human beings adapt to those environments. Like in winter, we wear sweaters, jackets, hand gloves, scarves, mufflers, and in summers we wear cotton clothes, shorts, sleepers, etc. Now, as human beings are adapted to different environments and different weather, so as are the animals and plants. So, without much ado, let's begin our today's topic of discussion, that is how plants and animals are adapted to different environments like hot environment, wet environment, and the cold environment. In the hot environment, when we talk about, we think of desert. And in desert, the most common plant which we come across is cactus. And when we talk about animal, it is camel. So why do you think that the camel is so much successful in desert rather than in Arctic or Antarctic poles? The camel has special adaptations. That is, its body has adapted certain features that make it perfectly suited to its natural environment. Let's discuss them. First, we start with nostrils. They are lined with the hair and it can shut to stop the sun getting into the nose. Its eyelashes, they are long and bushy so that they can stop sand getting into their eyes. Next is about the lips. It has thick lips so that camel can eat the pricky desert plants. And it has humps which contain fat which is used as energy, but the fat doesn't insulate its body. And the next is about the large feet, and they are padded so they reduce the pressure the camel exerts on the sand. This way the camel has adapted certain features which make it suitable living in that desert or sandy environment. Now let's talk about cactus. Cactus has roots that spread far to absorb water from the soil, so they are very deeply rooted. They have green stems to store the water, and they don't have leaves, so the function of the leaves is performed by the stem. They have thorns instead of leaves so as to prevent the water loss through transpiration. They have waxy layer covering to prevent water loss and retain moisture. In the given image, you can see that there are different types of cactus plants. They have deep roots and some have fibrous roots so that they can absorb the soil water. Over here, you can also see that there are no leaves and leaves are converted into pricky or thorns. And in order to carry out the process of photosynthesis, which is done by leaves, over here it is done by the stem. So stem is fat and green so as to store the water and do the function of the leaves. Hope this part is clear. So let's move on with the wet environment. The plants growing in the wet or aquatic environment, they are called as aquatic plants. These plants include marine plants which grow into the seawater and freshwater plants which grow in freshwater like pond, lake, river. The most common example which we think when it is asked about aquatic plants is lotus and water lily. Now, adaptations these plants have. They have broad and flat leaves which help to get sufficient sunlight and air. It has long and hollow stem so that it can easily float with the flow of water. Stems are light and flexible as they are hollow. Roots are not deeply rooted because they don't have to anchor into the soil. These plants they don't have to fix themselves to the soil because they have the support of water. They are floating on the water. So the roots are not deeply rooted. Now we will talk about adaptations in aquatic animals. The first common example which we think about aquatic animals is fish. And we all know that fish they have gills. Instead of lungs, they have gills for respiration. They have streamlined body so they can easily swim in the water. The other examples are frog and duck. They have webbed feet which is easy for swimming. Then they have like jellyfish, they have tails and fins for locomotion. The word locomotion is nothing but the movement, the easy streamlined movement. Now they have scales, fish have scales to retain moisture. Some whales like whale and dolphin, they have blowholes. They are the aquatic mammals. Some of the amphibians, they have moist skin. So in nutshell, if we have to put down the points which are there for the adaptations in the wet environment for animals, they respire through gills or they have skin. The skin is very soft, slippery and slimy. They have streamlined body, fins for swimming in water. They have webbed feet just as like duck and frog have for swimming. The other example of wet environment animals or birds is of example of flamingo. Over in the picture, you can see the flamingo have long and flexible neck to get the food in hard rich places. They have long legs to walk and run in water easily. We will talk about now the cold environment plants like fir, pine, mosses. Plants have cone shaped with sloping branches so that they help the snow to slide off easily. That can be easily seen into the picture over here. They have needle like leaves which help them to give the cone like shape. Leaves help in conservation of water by reducing transpiration. This picture is of mosses. Mosses they grow very low and they are very close together to protect themselves from the wind by trapping the pockets of the air. Leaves are very thin and they have waxy coating to reduce the water loss through transpiration. Now we will talk about cold environment animals like polar bear, Arctic fox, penguin, walrus and sea lion. In today's video we will talk about polar bear. Polar bears they have small ears which help them to reduce heat loss. They have thick fur and a thick layer of body fat to insulate or to protect themselves from the cold. They have white fur which acts as a camouflage. Camouflage means they uh, make them their skin color as per the color of the environment so as to protect themselves or to so that their prey doesn't see them. And the next is about the large feet because polar bears, they have a heavy weight, so large feet is there to spread the body's weight. The wide paws act as good paddles and snowshoes. So this in today's video we talk about how different plants and animals have adapted themselves in different environments like hot, cold and wet. That's all from my end today. Do watching the channel Smart Study with Shivani, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe the channel. Thank you and have a good day.